Good morning, everyone. Today we find ourselves at a crossroads, a moment that calls us to reflect on who we are and who we aspire to be. It is a moment to embrace the extraordinary potential that lies within each of us, especially for those striving to embody the qualities of strength and independence. There is something undeniably captivating about a woman who stands firm in her identity, unyielding in her values, and unwavering in her pursuit of purpose. Such a woman does not merely exist. She thrives, she inspires, and she becomes a beacon for others to follow. The path to becoming a strong, independent woman is not paved with perfection, but with persistence. It is carved out of the trials that test our resolve and the moments of doubt that challenge our courage. Strength is not an inheritance. It is a creation. It is born from the habits we cultivate, the principles we adhere to, and the choices we make, especially when the world seems to conspire against us. As the philosopher Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." For a woman, knowing her why is the first step toward unlocking a life of independence and purpose. Let us consider the power of habits. Habits are the architects of our destiny. What we do repeatedly, we become. And yet habits are not simply about routine. They are about intention. A strong woman understands this deeply. She does not act out of compulsion or conformity, but out of a deliberate commitment to her growth. Her habits reflect her values: discipline, resilience, and authenticity. Every morning she wakes up, she chooses to invest in herself, for she knows that self-investment is not selfish, it is essential. As the saying goes, you cannot pour from an empty cup. One of the most transformative habits of a strong, independent woman is the practice of self-care, not as a luxury, but as a necessary. She recognizes that her strength is not infinite, and to sustain it, she must nourish her body, mind, and spirit. This is not about indulgence, but about preservation. It is about finding balance in a world that constantly demands more. A woman who takes care of herself is not avoiding responsibility. She is fortifying herself to meet it head-on. She understands that to give her best to others, she must first give her best to herself. But self-care alone is not enough. A strong woman also cultivates resilience. Life is unpredictable, often unforgiving, and filled with moments that test our mettle. Yet it is in these moments of adversity that a woman's true strength emerges. Resilience is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to rise despite it. It is the realization that failure is not final unless you allow it to be. A strong woman sees setbacks as setups for comebacks. She embraces the wisdom of Maya Angelou, who said, "I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it." Another cornerstone of strength and independence is financial empowerment. A strong woman takes control of her financial destiny. She does not shy away from the complexities of money, but faces them with curiosity and determination. She understands that financial independence is not just about wealth, it is about freedom. The freedom to make choices, to walk away from what no longer serves her, and to build a life on her own terms. Money in her hands becomes a tool for empowerment, not an end in itself. A strong woman is also unafraid to dream. She does not limit herself to what is probable, but dares to imagine what is possible. Her dreams are not whimsical. They are intentional. They are the compass that guides her actions and the fire that fuels her persistence. She understands that dreaming is not about escaping reality, but about shaping it. As Eleanor Roosevelt wisely said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." That is what liberation is. A strong woman holds her dreams close, protects them fiercely, and pursues them relentlessly. But independence is not isolation. A strong woman values relationships, not for validation, but for connection. She surrounds herself with people who uplift her, challenge her, and inspire her to be better. She seeks authenticity in her connections, preferring the company of a few who truly understand her to the applause of many who do not. She knows the value of boundaries, understanding that saying no to others is sometimes the most profound way of saying yes to herself. Authenticity is another defining habit of a strong woman. She does not wear masks to please others or contort herself to fit into molds that do not suit her. She is unapologetically herself, embracing her strengths and owning her flaws. Authenticity is her armor, and vulnerability is her strength. She knows that pretending to be someone else is the quickest path to losing oneself. As Oscar Wilde said, "Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken." A strong woman also cultivates a habit of gratitude. She sees life not as a series of obligations, but as a series of opportunities. She finds joy in the small moments, celebrates her victories, and learns from her challenges. Gratitude is her anchor, grounding her in the present while inspiring her toward the future. It reminds her that even on the hardest days, there is something to be thankful for, a lesson, a chance, or simply the strength to endure. Finally, a strong woman leads by example. She does not demand respect. She commands it through her actions. She does not seek to dominate others, but to empower them. Her strength is not a weapon, but a shield, protecting what matters most: her values, her vision, and her integrity. She inspires others not by telling them what to do, but by showing them what is possible. So as we stand here today, let us remember this. Strength and independence are not destinations, they are journeys. They are not about perfection, but about progress. To be a strong, independent woman is to embrace the fullness of life, the joys and the sorrows, the triumphs and the trials. It is to live with purpose, to act with courage, and to inspire with authenticity. It is to say, "I am enough just as I am," while striving to become even more. And as you embark on this journey, let the habits of strength and independence guide you. Wake up every day with intention. Invest in yourself with unwavering commitment. Face adversity with resilience. Dream boldly, live authentically, and lead with integrity. Remember, the power to change your life lies within you. The habits you choose today will shape the woman you become tomorrow. And the world is waiting for that woman, strong, independent, and unstoppable. As we gather here today, let us take a moment to reflect on the power that lies within us. Each of us has the potential to shape our lives, to overcome obstacles, and to stand tall in the face of adversity. Yet this potential is not realized by chance. It is realized by choice. The choices we make, the habits we cultivate, and the courage we summon are what define us. And for a woman striving to be strong and independent, these choices are not just essential, they are transformative. Strength is not an innate quality. It is forged in the fires of challenge and adversity. It is easy to look at strong, independent women and think their path must have been smooth, that they possess some secret the rest of us do not. But the truth is far from that. Their strength is not a gift. It is an achievement. It is the result of countless moments where they chose to rise instead of fall, to persist instead of surrender. As Viktor Frankl once said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. And that is the essence of strength. It is the willingness to change, to adapt, and to grow, no matter what life throws your way. To be strong and independent is to live with purpose. It is to recognize that your life is your responsibility and that no one else can define it for you. This is not an easy realization. In fact, it can be terrifying. There is comfort in blaming circumstances, in pointing fingers, in waiting for someone else to rescue us. But true independence begins when you stop waiting and start acting. It begins when you take ownership of your life, your choices, and your future. It is not about being infallible or invulnerable. It is about being accountable. As the great philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre said, man is condemned to be free because once thrown into the world, he is responsible for everything he does. Independence is not isolation. It is not about rejecting help or avoiding connection. It is about choosing who and what you allow into your life. It is about building relationships that empower rather than diminish you, that challenge you to grow rather than hold you back. A strong woman knows the value of boundaries, not as walls to keep people out, but as guidelines to protect what matters most: her time, her energy, and her peace of mind. She understands that saying no to what does not serve her is not selfish, it is essential. As Brene Brown wisely observed, daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves, even when we risk disappointing others. A strong, independent woman also understands the power of her voice. She speaks not to seek approval, but to express her truth. Her words are not weapons, but tools to inspire, to educate, and to uplift. She does not shy away from difficult conversations or controversial topics because she knows that silence, too, is a form of agreement. She believes in the strength of her convictions and is unafraid to stand by them, even when it is unpopular. As Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." But perhaps one of the most defining qualities of a strong, independent woman is her ability to embrace vulnerability. This may seem contradictory. How can vulnerability coexist with strength? But the truth is, vulnerability is not weakness. It is courage. It takes courage to be honest about your fears, to admit when you need help, and to open yourself up to the possibility of failure. A strong woman understands that vulnerability is not a liability, but a strength, for it is through vulnerability that we connect with others, that we grow, and that we truly live. As Theodore Roosevelt once said, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly." The journey to strength and independence is not a solitary one. It requires the willingness to learn, to grow, and to evolve. It requires the courage to face your fears and the humility to acknowledge your limitations. It requires a deep, unwavering belief in your own worth, a belief that is not shaken by the opinions of others or the challenges of life. This belief is not arrogance, it is self-respect. It is the recognition that you are not defined by your past, your circumstances, or your mistakes, but by your choices, your actions, and your character. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." So as you leave here today, remember this. Strength and independence are not destinations, they are journeys. They are not about perfection, but about persistence. They are not about having all the answers, but about being willing to ask the questions. And they are not about being alone, but about standing tall with courage and conviction, no matter who stands beside you. Let these words resonate with you as you move forward in your life. Choose to rise above the noise and the chaos. Choose to be the author of your own story. Choose to live with intention, to act with courage, and to inspire with authenticity. The world needs strong, independent women. Women who are unafraid to dream, to lead, and to change the world. And that woman can be you. The journey will not be easy, but it will be worth it. Because in the end, strength and independence are not just about what you achieve, they are about who you become. And who you become has the power to inspire everyone around you.